Hello, my name is Shia Ritchie, and today I want to be talking about the different phases and stages of a quote unquote typical slash normal average labor and birth. So this is just like your textbook labor, not precipitous, not prodromal, not breech, just typical labor. And we'll talk about what happens during those stages and how the birthing partner or birth team can help the birthing person manage and cope with what they're thinking and feeling at the time. So the several stages are there's pre labor, there's the phase of dilation, there's active labor, there's the transitional stage, and that's when we get into crowning, the birth of the baby, that resting period, and then the postpartum stage, which is the birthing of the placenta. So, the first stage, which is pre labor, this can last anywhere from like hours to days, depending on the birthing person. And in this phase, what's happening physiologically is the cervix is ripening, it's softening, it's thinning. The birthing parent might like feel some things or like be thinking some things like, something, I feel like something's happening. It's possible that the mucus plug will or has fallen out at this moment. So, like, that's kind of like the beginning stages of labor. The birthing parent may feel very excited or anxious or very tired, especially if they've been having on and off contractions for like days or like a lot of hours. So the next stage is sort of the interim stage is like the dilating phase, and that again can last anywhere from like hours to a day or two. The cervix is continuing to ripen. There's somewhere in like the middle point of dilation, like 4 or 5 centimeters, and that's when you'll start to sense that the birthing parent is having some rhythmic contractions. They're probably still active, but they definitely are starting to feel some things happening. The contractions may be getting like just a little bit more intense. The birthing team slash birthing partner can definitely help by just continuing activity as normal, rest, hydrate, eat. Definitely do whatever you can to get your energy up and ready for the pushing phase, and for active labor as well. The birthing person and partner can also clean up the house, make a meal, things that make the house feel more calm and serene and prepped for when the baby arrives. The next phase is the active labor stage, and this can last anywhere from like half an hour to 6 hours, hopefully. And this is when like the cervix is like almost fully dilated, so like very nearly there. The contractions definitely become more intense. They're about every like 3 to 4 minutes. They're lasting for a minute. And things are definitely feeling more rhythmic. You're able to time the contractions pretty on point at this point. Definitely gonna sense that the birthing parent is feeling some intensities and maybe some contractions that stop them from speaking, or maybe the laughing has disappeared at this point. Things are getting more serious. This is a very important time for the birthing team, the birthing partner, to just support in any way possible. And at this point, the birthing partner may not feel like talking, which is why that pre-planning period with the birthing parent is just so important, so that or the birthing team or the birthing partner knows exactly what to do when the birthing parent cannot properly express what it is that they need, especially if it's the first time having a baby. They may not even know what they need until they receive it. And then we hit the transitional phase. This is like the shortest phase of birth, it's anywhere from like 10 minutes to an hour. This is when the cervix is nearing completion. Contractions are closer together. We're hitting the most intense point of contractions. The birthing parent is definitely feeling like it's a lot, like they can't really do it anymore. There's no breaks in between, it's just it's definitely ramping up, and it's also probably a great time to get into the water to let that overwhelming sense of pain subside. And the birthing partner slash team does the same thing they're doing in the active stage. It's just like a lot more hands-on support. Comfort measures are important: music, scents, comb, head massages, keeping the water warm, all these things. And also just reminding the birthing parent that they are doing a stellar job, and that this plateau of intensity it just means that they're almost done. And I think that's exactly what they need to hear at this point, that they're almost done. And then we have the crowning phase. The baby is finally moving through the birth canal. This it honestly varies for so many people. It's hard to tell how long it takes, but this is the active pushing stage. In this point, like, the cervix is definitely dilated. The uterus is catching up with the baby. The contractions may subside a little bit, just to allow the body and the baby to make themselves more able to fit down the birth canal. So that's like a lot of probably turning for the baby and getting the shoulders ready and the neck ready and all those awesome things. At this point, the birthing parent may really, really want to push and really want to get things over with, and it's important to honor the birthing parent and their decisions, but to remind them to pace and to breathe and to relax their face and to not contract and constrict, because that can prolong labor for sure. This point, it's just about patience. The fetal ejection reflex is very intuitive. It knows what to do, and the body will definitely get the baby out as it sees fit, especially to avoid, tearing, hemorrhaging, there's like a plethora of things that could definitely go right or definitely go wrong. And then especially if the bag of water hasn't broken yet, there could definitely still be a little bit more to do as far as getting the water broken and then pushing the baby out. The baby descends, the baby's probably crowning, and then this part is like, it's usually pretty quick. For some people, a lot of times it can be very like yo-yo-y, back and forth and back and forth. So there'd be crowns. The birthing parent might feel something called the ring of fire. It's this intensifying, burning feeling where the vaginal wall is just like really, really stretched, so they may feel a lot of burning. That is a great time to remind the birthing parent to rest, breathe, let the body do exactly what it needs to do intuitively. Things are working in their favor. And then with the next contraction, give it a really good push, and the head would probably come out. Another rest and a contraction, and typically, not always, the baby will come out. And the birthing team will definitely do what they need to do to make sure that the baby is breathing. The temperature's good, color's right, there's nothing blocking the airways, and that they are going right to the birthing parent's chest if the birthing parent chooses to have the baby on them. And then after a moment of rest, what will typically happen is the birthing team may check the umbilical cord to see that it is no longer pulsing. Actually, sorry, no, that's for cutting. At this point, the bleeding will have stopped for the most part. And it may be actually, let me start over, because now I'm remembering. When the birthing parent starts to feel more cramping, that is a good time to know that the placenta is ready to be birthed. The birthing team may do some some pushing and palpating on the stomach and the uterus to just kind of help the placenta make its exit. And it maybe the birthing parent is asked to like cough, like make some pushes down there, and then the placenta will be born. The placenta will be checked. The umbilical cord will be checked, and then however the birthing parent sees the things going from there, whether they cut the cord, lotus birth, or just life fully begins once the placenta is born. And at that point, the birthing parent should be still supported, getting out of the tub, cleaned up, hydrated, rested. They have their baby. They're being checked for tears or clots, or if the bleeding is subsiding. And then, yeah, that would be a pretty awesome birth. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.